mindfulness meditation is one of the areas that over the last 15 years or so gained enormous popularity throughout North America and worldwide as well. Now, before we get to that, I'm sorry. So scientists, again, using fMRI, brought in, under the auspices of the Dalai Lama, a whole bunch of monks, Buddhist monks, I'm not sure if they were from Tibet or, anyway, they brought them all over to the US and put them under fMRI scanning. And what they found is that the structure of their brains were completely different from the control subjects, which are normal people like you and me. They found that the brains are a lot more densely connected, and they have connections that are much stronger and wider than what we would have as, the average person. But what was also interesting is they took people who have only meditated for about 8 weeks, and they've noticed that their brain is starting to change as well. After a mere 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation, 30 minutes a day, that's all a commitment that those people had to make. And they already noticed stronger neural connections within their brains, especially within the prefrontal cortex, which is our executive function. So before I continue, I want to tell you about a willpower failure, near failure that I had. And I'm going back years and years ago. Set myself a goal of doing my MBA. I was still in Johannesburg, South Africa. Married with 2 young daughters at the time. One of them is Liat, the same naturopathic physician. But I couldn't afford to do the full-time program because I couldn't quit work. So I chose the part-time. It was a 3-year program, 5 days a week from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then weekends 8 hours a day. I was, to be honest, naive, selfish, and really didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I found out pretty quickly, pretty soon. And whenever my wife would ask, Yuri, can you help me with this or with that? Sorry, dear, not today, not now. My daughters would ask, can you take me to the gym? We have a gymnastic competition tomorrow. Sorry, perhaps some other day. I have an assignment to do. And pretty soon they stopped asking. And I know that for 3 years I've let my family down completely because I had that MBA task ahead of me. And so I completed the coursework. But that wasn't the end, because in order to be awarded the degree, I needed to submit a project. Well, and we had 1 year after completing the course work to do the project and submit it. And otherwise, the degree will be lost. But by that time, that's the school, by the way, University of the Witwatersrand, WITS for short. By that time, my brain was fried. I had lost all motivation to engage in several months of project work, even if it meant that I would lose the degree. I went around, spoke to some other students, and many of them were in the same situation. It was so exhausting that we lost all motivation. And yet my family said, no, we're not letting go of you. You have to do it. You made us suffer for 3 years. You have to complete your degree. But I really did not have that willpower to do it. I really was. And then one day, a meditation expert from the US came to Johannesburg and was laying down a meditation workshop over 3 weeks. weekends and evenings. And here I go again with my family, go to those evening classes. But after about 2 of the 3 weeks, I started noticing that something is happening to me. And after the 3rd week, I felt that full transformation, went to my boss, asked for a 60-day unpaid leave, set up a desk at home, closed the door, finished the project, and the following May, I was awarded the MBA degree. We started 125 students. Only 69 of them actually completed the coursework and the project and graduated. So that was my personal experience at the time, and I'm going back 20 years, with meditation and how it affected my life. So what is mindfulness practice and mindfulness meditation? Which is one of the leading meditation forms that there are. I mean, there are hundreds of different schools of meditation and different practices. But mindfulness is our ability to be in the moment, live the moment, accept it for what it is, without judgment, without frustration, without rumination, without all those negative emotions. Just be in the moment and accept it for what it is, with openness, curiosity. And typically what happens to us is our body is here. Our body is now. For our body, there is only one moment, and this is this very moment right now. But our mind is anywhere but here and now. It's all over the place. So what mindfulness meditation does is it helps you, or it encourages you to bring your mind in line with your body and experience the now for what it is. So here is where I want to do a 60-second meditation exercise with you. And when I say go for 60 seconds, please kind of take a comfortable position in your chairs, close your eyes when I say go, and just breathe naturally and normally, not too accelerated, not too slowly, and try and concentrate fully your mind totally on your breath. Think of nothing else, just your breathing. Try and feel your abdominal going in and out, your chest going in and out, the airstream coming into your nostrils. Try and focus exclusively just on that for 60 seconds. Let's go. Okay, we made it 45 seconds in the interest of time. So, any experiences? Who is willing to share?
My attention.
Any other thoughts, experiences? Were you able to empty your mind of anything else and focus just on your breathing?
It was very calming.
It was.
Very calm and peaceful. Yes. And then I was brushed by the server.
So, scientists found, and this is really very recent, within the last 5-7 years, that there is inside our brain what they call the default mode brain network. It's a network of 6 areas inside the brain that comes to life when we are not focused on a specific task, be it doing a Sudoku, reading a book, writing a report, watching soccer. But if we're not focused on any particular task, then these areas come to light. And they take control over our brain. When we turn our attention and our focus to a particular task, then scientists found that these areas quiet down, they are extinguished, there's no firing of neurons in them, and then the other areas that in the prefrontal cortex that we saw before take control, and then we start engaging in the focus task that we're doing. And so scientists try to find out what is it that the brain is engaged during those times where we're not focused on anything. And those they call the default mode activities. The first one is what they call time traveling, which is you either think about the past, ruminate about what happened, get anxious about it, get frustrated, or look to the future and do planning and more planning and action and being anxious about what's going to happen in the meeting that is awaiting you, or what will you say to your boss, or what will happen here, or what will happen there. So that is the number one activity, either traveling to the past or traveling to the future. The second one is assessment and judgment. We sit in a meeting and we think to ourselves, this guy Jack hasn't got a clue how to run his meetings. There's no focus, he doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know what he's talking, he's wasting our time, and the room is too hot or too cold anyway, and we cast judgment on anything and everything around us. So that's number two. Number three is self-image processing. So Jane shouldn't have critiqued me in the middle of the meeting. I'm more senior to her. I deserve respect, and I'm not expecting her to contradict me in the middle of a room full of people. So we place ourselves relative to others at a certain level, and we want to protect that image that we built for ourselves since we were babies. And the last one is social referencing. I wonder what the CEO would think of me in light of what I said today at the meeting. Again, very conscious about our standing, and more importantly on this one is the relationships that others project to us. So this is what typically the brain is engaged with or in when we're not focused on specific tasks. So what does and how does mindfulness help us with respect to that? Scientists found that it quietens down the default mode network of the brain. That after practicing even 8 weeks, 30 minutes a day of mindfulness meditation, scientists were able to see that the default mode network is quieting down. We do less of time traveling. We do less of situational assessment. We get to live more in the moment and accept it for what it is, without time traveling, without judgment. And behavioral scientists found that this contributes to our overall well-being and our overall success in life. So that's mindfulness. So we have now some tools to strengthen our willpower and some tools to quieten our minds and help it become more focused and more productive.